But in 1877, when Reconstruction ended, all those gains started to get rolled back. The major challenge to this and all the other Jim Crow laws was this case right here. There was a law passed in New Orleans in 1890 called the Separate Car Act, and this said that black and white passengers had to be on separate cars on the streetcar and on the railroad. One of the groups opposed to this was the railroads, because they said, wait, we used to have a train 3 cars long and it was full. Now we have to have a train that's 6 cars long and all the cars are half full and we're losing money. This is ridiculous. So what they did, the Citizens Committee came to the Press Street Railroad, this is Press Street right here, with the idea of using an act of civil disobedience to challenge the law. They had Homer Plessy, who was a clerk and a shoemaker, who was 1/4 black, boarded the train right down here at the Press Street Depot in the whites-only car. The train goes 1 block and then stops right there. The conductor walks up to Plessy and says, "Are you a Negro?" He says, "Yes, I am." The conductor orders him to move, and when he refuses, a detective walks over and arrests him. Now, the whole thing was staged. The detective, the conductor, and Plessy were all in on this, because if there's no arrest, then there's no trial. There's no challenge to the law. So they set up the arrest. So it's Plessy versus the state of Louisiana, the original case. Ferguson is John Howard Ferguson. He was the judge who ruled against Plessy at the original trial. It goes to appeal as Plessy versus Ferguson, and eventually to the U.S. Supreme Court as Plessy versus Ferguson. Now, this should have been the case where a segregation law got struck down, and then you could have used that legal precedent to challenge every other segregation law in the country. Unfortunately, the Supreme Court ruled 8-1 against Homer Plessy. It wasn't that they were ruling that segregation was legal, they were ruling that it was a states' rights issue. It was up to the states to decide whether or not they wanted to segregate their citizens, which of course they did. This decision sets the country back socially about 100 years, and it essentially creates an apartheid state in the southern states for the next 58 years and beyond. But 58 years later comes the case that overturns this one. 1954, Brown versus Board of Education out of Topeka, Kansas. Now,